this is our water softeners, obviously. So what we're gonna do is change the median out in this, so the resin. So we're changing the resin out in here. So when we do this, you can do one during the day if it's slow. So the first thing that we're gonna look for is this up here. So this is a slave and a master unit, and then this one's in service currently, right? So it's SRV, service, blue light, okay? So that's the one we want to work on, but this is the one that's giving all the water to the car wash, okay? So we need to switch that over so that it looks like this in standby, right here. So what we're gonna do is gonna push this recycling button, hold it down for 6 seconds, and it's gonna switch over to a regeneration stage, okay? So then this one is changing, and it goes into service now. So this one's in service with 7,500 gallons. So we know that it'll last the rest of the day if we need it to, right? And this one's in a backwash stage. So we need to skip this. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna just push this little button right here, skip through our cycles. It'll do it, okay? Cycle 3, rapid rinse. Cycle 4, brine tank fill, okay? And now it's back in standby, okay? So what we're doing now is that essentially we shut it off. So it's just,
through all the stages will go.
Cycle through it, yeah, because we're not gonna use it anyways, what it makes, okay? So now the next step obviously will be to shut the water off to it. So at this location, this is the wash 1 location. This is gonna be our water shut off right in here, that little red valve, okay? So that one is gonna shut off the water to this one tank, but it'll leave the water to this tank here, okay?
Is that not controlling both?
No, so what we're gonna do is, so if we trace our lines, so that's something that we always wanna do, say where is our water coming in from, right? Okay, so our water is coming in here. So it comes in, comes around, goes to our first tank inlet, comes back in, second tank inlet. We'll shut off our second tank inlet right here, and then we'll shut off our second tank outlet as well right there. So we're not getting any back feed through the line. Okay, so that's one thing that we'll do right now.
And inlets and outlets?
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm so out of shape. Okay, so we'll shut this one off. Okay, now we gotta shut the one off back there. Both completely parallel, shut off, shut off. Now it's time to open this bad boy up. So what we're gonna do is there's gonna be 3 points in which you wanna take it off, okay? Well, actually, let's disconnect the power first. So what we'll do is, you got a cable here. You want to trace your cable, right? So we're looking over here. Disconnect the power. No power anymore, okay? So that's good. Yeah, that's because it's not working right. So, it should still be feeding water through our tank. See, it's still moving? It's because this one died. And it's in an alternating system. So, if we had trouble, we could switch it to a single phase or a single tank system, but it's still working. It's just an alert to catch your attention. So what we're doing right now that we have the power off, we're sure we have power off, right? There's nothing on. We need to take it apart so that we can spin this off. We open this up. There's gonna be multiple connections here. So if you come in here and you look, there's multiple connections here. We need to disconnect them all, most likely. So this one is fine. That one goes to itself. So we need to disconnect this one right here. This is our Ethernet cable. Okay, and we need to disconnect our 2 power wires. Like I said, you have to make sure that the power is off, or else obviously you'll get shocked. But I know power's off, so I can touch it and I'm okay. So just safety first is always the key. And then we're also going to need to take out our ground. So, and we always have to remember, you know, which goes to which in there, okay? So,
ground is the green.
Ground is the green, yes. So, where did that all go? Just hang in there?
Yeah.
So that's okay. So now you can close this up. Inspect the back, make sure there's no more wires hanging out of it. Looks good to me. And then we're gonna run this in there. Connect it again just for, you know, simplicity purposes. Alright. Connect that mixer in. We want to close this. Getting this closed is a pretty important part of this because you don't want any water or anything to go through there. You don't want any water to get in, you don't want anything to fall out, right? So closing is pretty important. Okay. So now you got your 4 connections you're going to disconnect. We have a connection here. A connection here. You have a connection here. You have a connection in the back, right over here. Okay, and then you also have this connection right here. It's a piece of poly plus, so don't forget about that one. And that'll get everything off so that then you can spin this top off, okay? So, let's do that. Got a pair of channel locks real quick. Pair of channel locks. Use that on the back end, right here. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. This is like to fill the brine tank up.
So we got to get soaking wet right now?
Not necessarily, but if there's a lot of water caught in the tank, then yeah. There's water all in this line that we just shut off, so it's gonna have to drain out somehow. No water on that one. So, take this out. Just make sure you don't lose anything in it. Any of the seals. So, if you come and look in here, this is old piece right here. You can see that there is a piece of like copper in there, and it just broke because it's just so old. If that happens, it's not really the biggest deal in the world. It still screws in and it should be okay, but
Something to keep an eye on just in case it's a problem.
yeah, just in case it's a problem, don't worry about it. Worry about that later. You know, I think that happened to me the last time I did it, so not the biggest deal in the world. But now let's take these pieces off right here. What I'm doing, preferably the night before, what you want to do is come back in, hit it with spray paint, so it'll go right back in the same spot. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be on there. So. Strap wrench. chose to take the back one off first so that all the water didn't rush on me in the components or all over where I don't want it to be, you know? So, looks like my paint's washing away, so I didn't want it to happen. And doing this keeps it from stripping the union. And so that's all your connections right there that I just did. Now it's free. Now we can knock it off. Now getting it off is a pain. So when you're taking this off, we have to be really careful not to drop it. Well, once it comes completely off, it can catch you by surprise, and it is kind of heavy. Okay. So I'm off now. And now I just gotta pop it off, I believe. There you go. Take that. Put it somewhere where it won't fall. And that's how you get the top assembly off. What? And that's how you're gonna get the top assembly off. Okay?
Easy enough.
So, yeah. As you can see, it's all full of water. Okay? And it's super heavy. Like, there's no way we could take this down on our own. So hopefully, that's what we can use the shop vac for. But I'm not sure if we're actually gonna be able to get the hose in here with this in. So, we'll see. Okay, so what I did here was, this tank was super heavy, you know, it's completely full of water and resin, which can weigh up to 500 pounds. There was no way that we were gonna tip it over. So I bought a shop vac, which you can see that Chad has right there. And I'm actually just vacuuming out as much water as possible. So I stuck it in here at first, vacuumed it out, but then, you know, I couldn't reach anymore. That wasn't working. So basically I'm fitting it over into here, you know, and I can use that, or you can use this, stick it right over. And that is what actually pulls the water out of your membrane anyways. So it's actually working really well to drain this tank out. It's what I recommend. It's way easier than getting 6 guys trying to tip this huge tank over. So let's try doing that. Okay, so what I'm doing here, what we did was, there's a lot of resin in this tank. So we decided to get burlap sacks in these 5-gallon buckets here. Put them in nice and tight. And then we rigged our shop back up here with my handy dandy device to get inside the tank. This is just to make it easier, because without this, the tank is 500 to 600 pounds and there's no way you can tip it over. So we're trying to make it lighter, trying to make it easier, so that, you know, managers are able to do this on their rain days. So anyways, we're gonna show you one series of this, what it looks like, and then hopefully the next video will be us putting resin out and back in. So this is the inside of the tank. Trying to hold the hose up. All right, let's go. So what we're doing now is we're emptying it. We're gonna take this hose off, turn it on real quick. Put some of that in there, okay? Chad's gonna take this lid off. A lot in there. This is all the resin we got. Okay? It's pretty heavy, so we never want it to go over about halfway, or else it's gonna be impossibly hard to pour out. What else? Well, the other thing we're doing is, over here, we're rinsing out our filter. So this is just to keep the machine from getting too hot and burning itself out. So we just got the little hose here, and we're just giving the filter a good rinse out. Keep it from getting stuck too much. That's all it needs. Quick rinse. You put that down. Then we're gonna pour this in, so if you wanna show them how to pour it in. Easiest way probably is to get one guy on it. Gonna tip it over, and I'll just scoop it out into the bucket so it doesn't get all over the ground. Okay? We're gonna do that. And then all we do is just keep repeating the process till we get all this resin out, and then we can tip it over. So I'll show you guys that next. What we're doing here is we got it tipped over. We used 3 guys to tip this big one over, but 2 is usually okay with the smaller systems everybody else has. So now they're gonna tip it over, not too far so that the stem doesn't break, and we're gonna work the resin out. And that's what you're gonna have to do to get the rest out. So put a couple sacks down, and at the end, we'll vacuum everything up and put it all in burlap sacks. So, let's go. So you're gonna see them tip it over. And that's gonna work everything out. Yep, a little farther. There we go. You're gonna see it all coming out. That's what you're gonna wanna do every time. We'll pick this up, put it in little buckets, put it in sacks, and then get rid of it after it dries. And keep doing this till all the resin gets out. After that, put it back up, we'll fill it back up. Okay, so what we're doing here, we got the tank back up. We tested these fittings out, made sure it's screwed on and was right where it needed to be with our spray paint right there. Okay, when we look in here, pretty much clean. Alright, and so what we're doing is we gotta now put some tape over this. So it's your funnel. Okay. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these 5-pound bag, or I think these are 60. So these little 60-pound bags of the median. So the median is the gravel. Okay, so the gravel comes in either these 100-pound bags or it comes in these little 50-pound bags. We'll use this one. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna pour it into that little bucket and hand it to me in small sections so I can control it. And then we'll fill up the gravel first, and then we'll put the resin on top of the gravel. All right? So let's do that. So basically we'll keep doing this until we get this basket covered. So the basket is the main important thing. So if we look in here, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little basket in there. It's gray. We need to cover the whole thing. And then once that's covered with the gravel, your median, then you'll put the resin on there. So I'll show you that in a minute. I got it filled in the basket. Now we're putting the resin in. This is the resin. This calls for 8 cubic feet, so 8 bags, 400 pounds is what I'm putting in here. So same thing. Pour it over. Work your way around. So now, don't forget to put on your thread seal tape, Blue Monster, Pookie. Just help it from leaking right here. So. Now, preferably you want to do this before, but obviously that didn't work out for me that way. There we go. So now we can thread it on. Let's thread it. So, first thing we need to do is open the seals and see if there's a leak. So, grab that hammer. You gotta wait for it to fill up all the way. Alright, so basically we got it all hooked up. We came back in here, we put our power wire back in our Ethernet cable. So actually I can show you exactly what we did. All we did over here was we just put these two white and black power cords in and then plugged back in our Ethernet cable right here, okay? So we put that in there and we just closed the system. We tightened everything up and checked for leaks. Leaks look good. We had a slight air bubble here with letting some air out, but hasn't been an issue since. I'm not sure if they designed it that way or anything like that, but what you want to see is when you plug it in, you want to make sure that they both pair up again, which it did, and then it went right back into a regeneration stage. So right now it's making soft water again with the new medium you put in. So this one should be good. Now, we won't know until we run it, so once it's done with this, you're always going to want to switch to this tank and run it and see what happens. You know, there's always going to be a little bit of resin in the line, maybe like a pebble or two to clog something, but for the most part, it should just run clean and clear. I've never had a problem with it before, so this one's good, this one's done, so we're all good to go.